All right, we're going to listen to this story called Worms at Work by Anne Well. Did you know that people all over the world keep worms to change their garbage into rich soil called compost? Worms eat food scraps. 2 pounds of worms can eat a pound of garbage every day. That's a lot of trash. Keeping worms is easy. It can also be a lot of fun. And while you're having fun taking care of the worms, you're also helping our environment by recycling trash into compost for houseplants and gardens. Here's what you need to do. You will need red worms, also called red wigglers. You can start with as few as 50 to 100 worms, but more worms will eat more garbage. Some garden stores sell worms by the pound. 1 pound of worms contains 1,000 to 1,500 worms. A large plastic container about 12 inches deep, a plastic bag or loose cover for the container, newspaper, leaves, and soil to make the bedding, water, food scraps. Making your worm bin. 1. Prepare the container. Poke small holes through the bottom of the container. 2. Prepare the bedding. Fill the container about 3/4 full with small pieces of torn newspaper. Do not use any colored or shiny newspaper. Add about a handful of soil. You can put in some dead leaves too if you like. 3. Pour water on the bedding. Make sure all the bedding is damp but not soaking wet. 4. Add the worms. Gently move the worms into their new home. 5. Feed the worms. Bury the food scraps in the bedding. 6. Cover the bin. Make sure air can still move in and around the bin. Maintaining your worm bin. 1. Keep the bedding moist. Make sure the bedding does not dry out. 2. Feed the worms. Pay attention to how much the worms are eating. If they are not eating all the scraps, feed them less. 3. Harvest the compost. Worms eat their bedding as well as their food. When the bedding is mostly gone, push what's left to one side and add fresh, damp bedding to the other side. Bury the food scraps in the new bedding. The worms will move to the food so you can harvest the compost without taking all the worms with it. 4. Use the compost. Compost helps plants grow better. Add it to potted houseplants or to your outdoor flower or vegetable garden.